Thank y'all for tuning in and watching. These series of videos are about not just the journey of this car, but my journey with this car. One of my best friends and brother from another mother passed September the 4th of this year, with 2022, which I'm correcting myself later in the video. I said September 4th of 21. It was this year, 22. But he worked in the medical profession and never had the COVID shots. Both his brother and sister are doctors, and both said had he had his COVID shots, he'd still be here with us today. Now, this isn't political, but I'm going to say I'm pro-Trump, pro-conservative, pro-Republican, and so was this man. I've had my shots, and I encourage every one of you to get your shots. I believe in my heart, had Randy had his shots, he'd be here with us today. Anyway, this story is about my journey with his car, getting it back to my house, and then from there on, however long it takes for me to get the car back in the condition that it should be. My friend went through a tragic set of events back from December 2007 to 2010. Left the car sitting outside, just abandoned the car in his backyard, and the car went downhill. You know what happens to a car that's abandoned and sits outside for years. So what you're fixing to see is a tragedy in itself, just the condition of the car. But like I said, my friend went through a rough time there and a broken heart. I'm correcting myself now, because later in the video you'll see I'm like, well, the car was here, it was here. No, I made a video on this car January 19. Check the link in my video description down here, you can see it then. He told me he started it up, and my memory's starting to come back. He started it up, backed it up a little bit, and it died. He couldn't keep it running, and I think he might have moved it once or twice early on when he first left it outside, and then just left it sitting right where it was. And back then it was gravel, and you know what happens to gravel when you don't maintain gravel. Grass grows up through it. So in January 19, you can see the car had backed up the gravel underneath it a little bit, and you can see the gravel underneath it now when I get it moved. So let's get into it. Thanks for watching. And here we are. One of my best friends, brother from another mother, 87 Buick Grand National. We lost him September the 4th, 2021. And he willed me this car. I can't tell you what it means to me. I'd rather have him than this car, but I'm thankful for this car. I used to take care of it for him. Was the caretaker of this car, you could say, for years, and he decided to leave it out back around 2010, 2011, and it kind of got to be a sore spot with him. He never would talk about it. He just wanted to leave it out and didn't want to talk about it, and it's sitting out over the years. It has come to this condition you see it in today. It originally sat right along over in here till January of 19, when I needed to come take a look at it one day. I was comparing something to my car, transmission lines and how they were run, and he had commented that he would sell this along with his restored beautiful GS 70 GS, which I have that car in another video. And be sure to click down in the links, and find the video to his GS, but I also did a quick video on this car that day because he left it sitting out and how rough it was. And after the video, he said, commented that he would sell it with the GS for, you know, so much money, but it was a long shot. It wouldn't, this car just, you know, the condition it's in, it's gonna need a lot of work, obviously, but this car has 32,000 original miles. 32,000. He bought this car brand new and was his daily driver the first few years. And there is the original mileage, 32,345. That's not 132,000. That's 32,000. There's the pedals. Now, sitting out here in the weather, you can see what the weather has done to the steering wheel. But look over here on the sides, the grain and so forth. That is the original mileage, folks. This car had 27,000 on it in 98 when we rented, a bunch of us Buick guys got together and rented out the track in Bowling Green, home of the Buick GS Nationals, April of 98. But anyway, this is what sitting out in the weather does to the car. Now, believe it or not, remarkably, all this right here is still in good shape. Usually they fade and turn black, that plastic chrome. But that's still in good shape, remarkably. The things are still on the stereo. But, so I know it was started from a few feet from where we were and moved back to here. And then he tried to start it again, I want to say sometime in 20 or 21, during COVID. I think it was during 20. And thought that it had a bad alternator. Well, I've got a brand new battery with me. And here's the back seat, by the way. Driver's seat, floor. Let's see if we can air these tires up and change the battery out and drive it out of the spot. What do you say? Let's give it a whirl. Now let's pop this hood. See what we're getting into under the hood here. Look at how tight this door closes. Listen to this door close, y'all. A little squeaky in the hinge, but anyway. Oh. So he's got a, was that AutoZone battery in there, Duralast? Well, I've got a 700 co-cranking amp diehard. Guys, this thing's been sitting here for 12 years, just sitting out here in the weather. And I stand corrected, it was sitting more over that way for about 10 years, and he moved it over to here in January 19. And they said he had a problem keeping it running when he tried to start it during COVID. Well, here's where we are. This is what we're getting into, and let's get into it. It ain't gonna stay up, so that's gonna be fun. Now I put this, I gave him, see this right here, this is a Sears diehard battery maintainer. I gave it to him, oh, I want to say in the mid to late 90s, 95, 96. Put it on here, and it's been through a battery or maybe two since then. But yeah, this battery was changed out sometime in the last decade, I would say. But it's still hooked up. All I had to do was run an extension cord over here and keep the battery up. But I'm not even going to mess with it. I imagine it's deader than a doornail. So I went to Advanced, got a diehard 700 co-cranking amp. Randy was big on co-cranking amps. And I am too. I believe in them big co-cranking amps. We're going to keep on moving with it. So I brought me an air compressor from the house. Fixing to kind of air these tires up. Got the battery changed. Got the diehard in there. I do have the battery maintainer hooked up. And of course I got my on the fly hood prop there. How you like that? And let's see if we can get some air in these tires. Then we're going to build the fuel pressure. And with the computer disconnected, we're going to spin the engine and build some oil pressure. All right, so we got all four tires aired up. I used my trusty handy dandy Moroso drag racing tire pressure gauge, and aired up all 4 tires to precisely 32 pounds. And as you can see, these are M&H ET Streets that his ex-wife bought for him, and as far as I know, they never seen the track. But just to give you an idea how long this thing's been sitting here. And like I said, I corrected myself in the previous clip. The car was sitting over in here for most of the past 12ish years, and he moved it over to here when I called him I was coming by, and called him and told him I needed to come by that day, January 19. We've got all 4 tires aired up. I bought him these Power 6 logo valve stem caps years ago, and that's from days gone by. And you real Buick guys out there know what that means. All right, so we got tires aired up, got the battery connected, we have the computer disconnected. Now let's see if we can build some oil pressure. Crap. It would help if I had the keys. All right, as you can see, I do have the keys. We do have power. The doorbell, I don't know what's happened to that. I can't hear it. It's always worked before. It's just one of many things I got to get into. But first, let's build some fuel pressure first. If I can do this with one hand. We're going to take this is the hood light. It's down here. It's supposed to be hung up neater than this. We usually run it down in there, but anyway, let me get it out here. This is a hood light, connects here, and we're going to connect it right here to this little black belt. If I can set this down and pull this off, try to set this down where y'all can see it won't fall off. All right, I think we're still recording. So let's try to build some fuel pressure. And take off that fuel pressure gauge. We're building. So we should have fuel pressure. Uh-oh. It has to get it undone. Oh, this is not good. There we go. All right. So we got fuel pressure. Let's build some oil pressure. Oh. Computer's disconnected. It shouldn't start. It shouldn't start. Computer's disconnected. What in the heck's wrong? Oh, it's because I got so much fuel up there. I don't know why this thing's trying to start. It's troubling me, y'all. The computer's disconnected. Why is it trying to start? I don't want you to run. I want you to build oil pressure. Oh man, what is going on here? Let's check this a little more. I'm still baffled trying to build oil pressure, and I'm turning the key and it's trying to start, but the computer is disconnected. There we go. Oil pressure's not even building. down anymore. I think that's enough. I should have built some oil pressure. I'll set this in where I can record. Well, let me get the other side up here. I don't know. I'm sitting out in the weather. I'm telling what's going on. So I just plugged the computer back in. I like to have seen that oil pressure gauge made, but I tried some even off camera. Ooh. Okay, these gauges aren't even working down there. Get it up there on the asphalt. That's my goal here. I just want to give it some time, build some more pressure, kind of level out and think for a minute. Years, y'all, since this thing's run. So he said he tried to start it. I think he might have had it running for a minute and quit, but there's no telling how old that battery was and if it don't have enough voltage. But then again, the alternator should have been carrying it, but I just want to give it a shot with a brand new battery here. Let's check the voltage. As you can tell, this pillar piece right here is falling off. So voltage isn't too bad. Why is this tack stuck on? That's usually when the tack tester's plugged into something. But it's not. So he's got an electrical issue going on here. whole thing right here was a bad idea. This vacuum hose across the top turbo shield, that's a bad idea. Sit here and do this thing on its own for a bit. Or I don't try to give any throttle or drive it up onto the asphalt. Check the volts. Still got volts. Yeah, we got electrical problems. Something going on here in the dash. Fuel gauge is pegged. Tank's pegged. I'm not even going to turn the battery on in case there's... When I first connected power a while ago off camera, the electric antenna, I heard the winder going round, 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 round for, I don't know, 60 seconds and it quit. But that is original mileage, folks, 32,345 miles. We've been running about 5 minutes here. Let's give it just a little throttle and see what happens. Of course, the smoke, you see it's not blow by, it's coming from down yonder. And valve covers on it. Not blow by, it's coming down here. Move it, y'all. Y'all want to move it? See if we can get it up the driveway. Alright, y'all. Here we go. We're going to drive it from its grave. As was that graveyard digs or junkyard digs or something. I like them guys. They're pretty cool. Oh! Get my wheel down. Ooh. Drive. Here we go. Coming out of the hole, y'all. And here we go. Still got voltage. Now our gauges are working. Sitting for a long time. Gross. I hate bugs, spiders. Any of y'all Buick guys, if you're really a Buick guy, you know what that is. The GSCA. The Buick Grand Sport Club of America. Started out with the V8 Buicks, Grand Sports, thanks to Richard Lassiter. Updating the tags, but as you can tell, it wasn't driven anywhere. His son had a PT Cruiser that was parked right here. We drove it out here the other day, and this is where it's been sitting for the last 3 years. And prior to that was over here. I was wrong earlier. I said up over in here in front, but no, it was actually over here. And there we are, folks. All right, well, I brought her up top here from down yonder where it's been sitting for the last 12-ish years, and it was sitting in that garage, that house in the basement, all its life, since 1987. So I just came right through here and parked it, and I'm debating driving it home. It's a 15-mile drive from here to my house, which is mostly interstate. And look at these tires. And if you've seen my previous videos about driving on old tires, it's got me thinking twice about driving it home, but I'm still tempted to try it. Let's give it a whirl, what do you say? I'm really thinking about it, y'all. I'm leaning that way. What do you say? I'm leaning that way. Only problem is the tags being expired. Even though he kept the tags up all these years, and it's only 10 months out. I don't know. I don't know. Stand by. Oh, by the way, I did check the oil. And let's check it one more time, because it's been a few minutes. See if I can sit this down and keep it running. Well, is that going to cooperate with me? Nope. Let's try this. Maybe this will cooperate with me. Nope. Well, nothing cooperate with me. Try that. There we go. That's a 13 Pro Max, by the way. Y'all are seeing me through. And if you can see this, car's been sitting a few minutes. It's quart low, and there's all. And it's quart low. Why is it a quart low? I don't know. It wasn't like him to run a vehicle low of oil, and this car didn't leak any oil back in the day, so I don't know. But I can drive home on a quart low of oil. And by the way, I've just been through 30 minutes of hell, because when I last hit that stop button right here and I was checking the oil, I took my phone out of the case with the idea of putting it on the tripod and then putting an external microphone on it and so forth. Now you don't know how much I wished I had did that, because when I hit the button, it pushed the phone this way and it fell down in here. So I had to round up tools, take this shroud and pull it back so I could reach my big fat arm down in there and get my cell phone. Lesson learned, a lesson for everybody: don't take your phone out of the case and sit it right there. It sure will fall down in there. And here we are. I've been several miles in it. I should have been recording, but the tires are, I live 15 miles away from his house. I've been 2 or 3 miles down the road, but I'm afraid to make the trek home. Those back tires, that crack was looking pretty wide a minute ago. But he seemed to think that it had a bad alternator, but so far, as much as I run it today, it's holding in there. I just passed the sheriff that turned around on me, and then when I pulled over and stopped checking the car out, he went on. And as you know, the tags are expired. I've got the title to it. It's in the other vehicle back at his house. I should have had that with me. His daughter hadn't signed it yet. But yeah, it's flat spotted. Tires are flat spotted and shaking the wheel. We're familiar with that from my previous videos on my Grand National. But it is running under its own power. There's our readings. And I haven't done any hard accelerations or got on it or anything. Just been idling it around. I'm gonna get down here and check out the tires. See what y'all think. Let's see here. I don't know, Randy. I'm kind of starting to believe the alternator might be all right. The case is mighty rusty, but the chrome's rusted on it. But I'm starting to believe it's all right. But you see them cracks in these sidewalls. Check this one over here. It looked real bad. Definitely don't think I want to get on the interstate with it. What do y'all think? The motor don't sound bad though. there she is, fellas, folks, guys and gals. Should I drive it home or not? I don't know what to do. Well, we're about ready to wrap it up and call it a day here. I've been gone for a while and running some errands. Just got back out here at my friend's place, and as you notice, I mentioned earlier I was debating driving it home, but I don't. One reason I like to drive it home is to stop through a car wash and pressure wash this engine bay and the whole car, and use their vacuums, not mine, to vacuum up all this crap, pressure wash the engine and vacuum out the insides and get all that crap out into their vacuum system and not mine, and get it looking a little better. But waiting to hear back from the insurance company on some insurance. Hope to get it titled tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So this is going to be the end of the first video on this project. The next video will be hopefully getting it home and stopping and getting it washed along the way if I attempt to drive it. But stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. Well, before we do that, let's pop that key again and see what happens. You want to? Let's do that. And you see how many miles we put on it today. We're now at 32,351. Thanks for watching. State Farm's